Welcome back. Big set coming up here in the prelims here at the 2023 NXL Windy City Major. Matty Marshall, blessed to have Drew Templeton up here from Paintball, former All-Star for many teams, especially Infamous. Infamous playing in this set here, so this is a big must-win situation for them. And also Colt Roberts, All-Star himself, San Antonio X Factor, helped put that team on the map. So also in this set, Damage and Hurricanes. Colt, we'll start with you. Damage, Hurricanes, who do you got in this one?
I think it's a tough one. They both play kind of a similar style. Damage is looking really good. Keith Brown's playing great in the Snake, and that's kind of pivotal, but Nick Ripple is as well. And actually gets shot for, I think, maybe the second time all tournament.
That's a good point. And I was kind of saying earlier, sometimes on some layouts, I'm like, they might as well just let that guy start in his spot. And Nick Ripple has not been shot very often, but Keith Brown's still alive and all the way onto the Hurricanes side. So Hurricanes in the deep water immediately as Keith Brown is just ripping bodies, crossfield, little two-pack. He does get clipped, though. It was a nice fill out from Pate. I think that was Pate. And so, but Damage is still in a good spot as they have that Goose Island brick in the middle, and Edwards just filtered over here to the Snake side. I think Damage might have lost a body as we were watching Keith Brown come through with a...
Yeah, Damage lost a break on the Dorito side, so
okay.
It's 3-on-2 right now.
Okay.
Damage.
Yeah, the two bodies stuck here, Snake side back spots. Looks like Jason wants to get out to this back corner. Here, Damage on the right, on the red side, and Hurricanes on the blue side. But yeah, Cole, I agree, and we've been talking about this. These teams play an incredibly similar style of paintball, and they will go at you in the beginning, but once they establish a lead, they play very disciplined paintball in the attempt to kind of smother you and get you frustrated.
Ooh, Horn taking a bad death. 2-on-2. Now advantage, I think, goes to the Hurricanes. They have this tape wire controlled. Rainey's stuck in that center brick, and Jason Edwards is in this slot Snake spot, and it's hard to get out of there.
Yeah, they're kind of in line, It's like when you're in a 2-on-2, you need to spread the field out a little bit. Edwards knows that. They let him filter out.
Yeah, that's a big mistake on Pate. He had tape control, should have held it, kept the advantage. Now it's kind of an even body, even position situation.
Yeah, Bell and Pate on the field right now for the Hurricanes. They're real good in situations like this, but so are Rainey and Jason.
Yeah, I think I'm going to have to give the edge to Rainey and Jason in this. They've been doing it a bit longer.
Rainey being very proactive at that brick, and he's tall enough to be able to play over the top of it. Thought for a second that he wanted to try to spread the field towards the D side, but just going to be content to pump Paint through these lanes from that brick. There he goes. Yeah, backfill outside. Tactical retreat to the tower.
Rainey's going to get out to this Dorito possibly, and then it's going to be game over. Drew makes a pretty good move to kind of adjust the field here.
So Drew's trying to match Rainey right now. Drew's going to launch. Here comes the coast-to-coast run for Drew, and he gets all the way, and he gets the drop-in on Rainey.
What a move.
Does he catch Jason as well, too, as Jason throws a stream over there, and that is going to do it. So Drew Bell stepping up to save this point here for the Hurricanes. That was a very interesting first point.
Pate got shot at the end there, too, so it was a one-on-one with Jason Edwards and Drew Bell on that. What a move by Drew.
Yeah, and he sees that guy go behind that 50 brick knowing that he's going to lose him as well, so he just took advantage and saw Jason was looking the other way, and...
Full commitment. Love to see it. And he read it. Oh, that's kind of how it's done right there. Nice job, Bell. So it looks like...
30 seconds.
Thinking this is going to be a pretty good match as well.
Yeah, must win for Infamous.
This looks like Connor Kelly going to be first out on the Heat side. Not having Chad George at this event, especially with a Snake like this, is really a thing that's going to hurt Heat. But Connor Kelly is stepping up and playing pretty well. Zach Patient taking Snake on break. Looks like he makes it alive. Heat's been kind of content breaking short and not necessarily ripping the Snake on break. Infamous does lose their back center body. But it looks like Jonah makes a good fill out behind Zach Patient here. Zach is just set up to win this point. They've got tape control. They've got both sides of the Snake corner and the Snake hot. They do shoot Connor out, and they shoot Monville. Is that Monville? Is that
Ronnie. And this is a good combo for Infamous to have Jonah and Zach on a side together.
Tyler does make a damage control fill out to the Snake, and they're going to work up on that Dorito side. Oh, he catches Tim Brusselbeck. Ryan Moorhead making a good move. Nate makes it also a nice counterpunch move over there. Did he get shot? He's asking for it. He needs to be careful about this.
Yeah.
Looks like it's a 3-on-1 infamous favor. Tyler Harmon alone in the snake corner, and that is the guy that you want if you have somebody as a 1-on-3 is Tyler Harmon.
Especially when these guys don't seem to know it's maybe just him.
Looks like Zach has kind of figured it out now. Yeah, he's calling the back left only, so it's a matter of time. Just need Jonah to kind of get in the middle of the field, get in a little better position to close this out. But this should be an infamous point.
Nate yelling that he shot him on his arm.
Tyler repositioning, and he dies.
So yeah, good combo right there with Infamous to have their two sort of ones play together down this side. See if we see more of that.
Yeah, I definitely think that that's the way that the snake side plays. I mean, you need two aggressive guys to be in here, because if you lose your first guy, you want a second guy in position and able to fill that snake and be aggressive down there.
Yeah, we've been kind of talking about how it's a snake package, not just a player.
I will say I find it interesting that, you know, teams it tends to be one of the teams that is not ripping snake every point on break, a lot less than other teams. They're content with going to this snake slot, and they are doing a good job about getting into the snake secondary, but it does give the other team an advantage to fill the corner and potentially get some penetration down the snake side before they counter it. And I think that the reason they're able to be successful on that is because their D side's playing very strong and aggressive down that side, and it's just kind of counterbalancing the field.
Yeah, agreed. And they've had sort of some unorthodox routes to the snake. Seems like they're running Connor a little more now this match.
Yeah, I mean, he's been more consistent than Fedorov.
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
Connor has been more dialed than Fedorov. Fedorov is a very charismatic player, and he's a legend, but Connor's having a better weekend. So jumping back into this battle here, Tampa Bay Damage and the Hurricanes with a 1-point lead for the Hurricanes, and a body coming off on that D side is it's going to be Chris Horn taking the walk.
5-on-4 breakout here. Keith Brown is in the snake, but Ripple did make the corner, so that really stifles the advancement on the snake side. So they're in a good position to win this point.
Yeah, good adjustment to go to the corner after getting basically shut on the break for the first time all event.
Now Pate's going to get into the snake here for the Hurricanes. Going to get into snake 2. He's got a body behind him. Keith Brown in front of him.
But like you said, with needing two good ones, so what happened with Ripple going to the corner is it makes that other player come underneath. So if that other player coming underneath is, needs to be just as ready to go as that, that one.
Yeah, and I don't think Pate's necessarily a front guy, but he's definitely a guy that's able to make moves.
Well, Colt, you were a front guy, and then now you're this amazing second attacker. So if people started watching this game right now, they're like, well, I don't know if Colt's exactly a front guy.
Sure, that's fair.
But he has those instincts.
For sure, absolutely.
You're obviously much more, experienced and a veteran and have won tournaments, but Pate kind of plays like you a little bit. Like he can filter in. He's got great timing, and he puts himself in the right place at the right time more often than he does not.
Absolutely. Yeah, Pate's a great player. This whole Hurricane squad is really good. They don't have necessarily, Nick Ripple has become a standout this year, I think, for them, to where it's like you're going to point a finger at that guy. But other than that, they've got like 9 dudes that are all just extremely solid and play well together.
So disciplined. They just make so few mistakes, and they have enough punch to contend with these top teams, which is why they've been winning against most of the teams in the league. They just haven't been able to put it together on Sunday. But this is another big test for the Hurricanes here. Obviously with a 1-point lead, now we'll see how Damage answers. But because styles make fights, and these guys are very similar, I mean, we could see some longer points out here. Edwards getting across, diving out into D2.
Rainey has doubled the snake here. I don't know if I love him being on his face without a quarter presence. Now, if Jason Edwards gets to the corner, that changes things a little bit, but then there's a huge seam up the middle open. And we know Drew is really playing that center well, and right as I say that, he's moving up looking for this fill.
Yeah, he's looking for it. He hasn't shot his gun yet, not touching any bunkers, trying to make sure he checks off on that D side angle to get through clean. Yeah, this is the Hurricanes. Their timing is great, man. I mean, and it's interesting because they don't have any, quote-unquote superstars, but we're starting to learn all their names and knowing how good they are, and they're kind of, becoming stars in their own right. Again, still, I'd like to see them make it deep on a Sunday before I start saying things like that, but they're getting there.
They've given every team in this league a game, I'll tell you that.
Absolutely.
They can definitely play, and there is nobody in the pro league that thinks these guys can't play or takes them lightly, that's for sure.
Yeah, they are in no way, shape, or form underrated or getting anything less than everyone's A game at this point in time.
Right.
So Pate kind of zoned up, waiting to potentially get run down. Now, Keith has had some explosive highway moves so far. So when you're playing a Keith Brown, you do have to worry about that.
Yeah, that's why I think, you know, maybe Drew going back to this wing and just kind of protecting that inside move is maybe the move here. You know, they're in a position to just burn the time. They're a man up. They're in the spots.
Yep.
There's not any threats on damage at the moment. Their Dorito player is playing cross solely. But it looks like Jason's kind of understanding the situation of the game, and that he needs to get on his horse and get Jacob moving down that Dorito side. That's their win condition right now, is getting down that Dorito side, I think.
Yeah, I mean, do you think Jason still has the ball right now?
I think Jason has the quarterback ball in the essence that he needs to get people involved and figure out how they're going to close this game. I don't think necessarily the move is on him, but he definitely needs to analyze the field and make a decision, right? The longer this game goes, the more advantageous it is for Hurricanes.
It looks like Lauren's got some info for us. Lauren, what do you got?
Yeah, I talked to Keith Brown before this match and asked him how Damage felt about the Hurricane team, and he said that they actually feel like Hurricanes are more disciplined than they are. Speaking for himself, he said he really wants to go. He doesn't want to sit in his bunker, but he did predict that these points against Hurricanes would slow down because no one wants to make the mistake.
Yeah, we're kind of watching some Sunday paintball right here.
Yeah.
Both these teams undefeated.
And you were saying last match if you think that Damage is showing their hand as far as play and personnel, but they're sort of running the same setup they had last match. Really, I think Jason went that way because Rainey ended up doubling the snake versus going to the wedge like he's been doing.
Yeah, paint's going to start to be an issue a little bit here in a bit. I mean, still...
We got 4 pods on Pate. We got 3 on Drew Bell. Loading his third.
Yeah,
right
Drew's
now.
about to load his... still got 2 more after that. I mean, Jason's got a sea of empty pods at his feet right now.
I do find it interesting that the damage is, I haven't seen Holiday out here. I haven't seen Chad Boussiere out here.
Yeah, I did see, I think Chad did get 1 spin from the back center.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
You had a really good event last event.
Yeah, I mean, Horn played really well yesterday.
He did. Yeah, I'm not taking anything away from Horn. It's
Well,
just
but Chad was their MVP.
Right.
The win.
That's what I'm saying.
So is he hurt? I don't
know.
think he is. When I asked Joey if everyone was good, he said everyone was good.
Ooh, that Dorito guy almost got his head peeled off there. Gotta be careful. Snake. Keith is advancing the snake 1 more bunker. Now, I do think that this is one thing where you see Pate that he's not playing a proactive role here. And this is where you can get bit. You know, if he just trades with the snake guy, they're big advantage, right? So if I'm playing the snake in this situation as Pate, I'm looking for the way to put a little bit more pressure on him, if you will. Maybe coming to the 50 snake, having Drew Bell watch over me, and forcing Keith to come make the trade, right?
Well, yeah, I mean, you have Bell right beside you. He has a back guy in the back corner bunker, and D2's looking this way. Maybe set a trap.
Right.
Make him try to come, as a little bit of bait.
And Rainey is winning this wire pretty dominantly, so I think that's making him feel like Keith's move is to come get him. So maybe he's playing a little more hesitant for that reason.
That's a good point.
Yeah, that is fair. And then you have a front guy in this snake corner battling Rainey, who's one of the most dominant gunfighters in the game. So, you know, just the switching of position. I think if you put Ripple in this spot and you put Pate that corner, this is a completely different
I was
game.
just thinking the same thing because, like, as we talked about the outset of this point, I don't mind that the change of the play call. It's still working out for him, but you know, Ripple in this position, maybe he's at the 50,
right?
And then that's kind of how they would normally play. Because if I had to rewrite this, yeah, I would want Pate gunfighting against Rainey, not Ripple. I'm not taking anything away from Ripple, but Ripple's skill set is doing what Pate normally does.
Exactly.
He would be at the 50. So I think if we flipped up the personnel here, yeah, I'm with you on that, Colt, for sure.
And that's the power of Damage being able to shoot a person on the break that's been really unshootable going to that spot, because then now they're running a new play that they're just not as comfortable with.
Drew is looking for this move. He gives up on it. I think he got spied. You have Jason Edwards just sitting in, you know, and Damage is doing a lot of the crossfield. Oh, Jason might have just took one to the head. Yes, he did.
That's a great shot here for the Hurricanes, and they've burnt a lot of clock off. We're down to 5 minutes. We're only in point number 2, so
I think Damage needs to blow it right
this
here.
puts a lot of pressure on Keith and Rainey and Jacob because they have to get proactive in a drastic low body situation down a point.
Oh, Keith just shot the Dorito.
Okay.
Just as we said, that Keith Brown needed to step up. It's the kill cross field to make it a little more interesting. And Keith's looking for it on the highway. So he's going to run through. He's going to shoot Bell. Pate gets diced up. Hato at the same time. And then Keith, he's going to end up getting shots. So it's still 2 bodies left alive. 2 on 2.
Wow. That's just a poor zone control. And now Jason Edwards makes it up to the 50. Or is that Jacob? That's Jacob up to the 50. And nobody knows he's there yet.
Yeah, so Rainey's still in the back corner bunker in the Landry Logistics spot.
Ripple
got out of it. He moved inside.
Yeah, I don't know if that's the move here.
Yeah,
but
took the words right out of my mouth. I think, look, you have a lead. You've been battling with Rainey. I don't know. I think staying in that backcourt bunker might have been the move.
Well, you put yourself in a position where you get pressure from both sides now. You know, if you're in the corner, you only have to worry about Jacob for a long time until Rainey crawls to your snake, right? He has to come bunker you out of there. So you just put yourself in a position where you can get played from both sides, and you don't have a dominant spot. You no longer have wire control. Rainey can sneak into the snake, shoot his corner guy.
Yep.
And he's only got what's in his loader, too. So I think a few of these guys might be in that situation.
Yeah, looking.
Still a pot on the back of that. I don't know who that is in the corner. And here, just as I said it, Rainey snuck into the snake. Nobody saw him.
And found some paintballs in there, too. Keith had left a half-full pot in there for him.
That was nice of him.
Yeah, so they don't know that Rainey's in here. Rainey has crawled all the way past the 50. He hasn't touched a bunker yet. He's going to set up and look inside. He's blocked out from that back corner from this spot, so he's trying to see if he can get a free one. Does he know where? I think
He knows where
where
he's
Ripple
at.
is.
Oh, and Ripple looks off. Sloppy play.
Yeah.
Just as I was saying, I thought that damage to blow the horn, they do that. But Keith did the right thing. You know, when you're in that situation 3-on-5 and you know that time is ticked, in your head it's automatically like, I got to do something. I may get my head blown off, but I'm going to get up and force my coach to do something.
Which is fine, because
Absolutely.
that last part of your paragraph right there, that's the exclamation point, because your coach is sitting in there just begging you to give him something to let him give you a chance.
Absolutely.
And I mean, Ryan Brand kind of wrote the textbook on that, and this was years ago, and people were like, oh, Ryan's blown it, a little bit too early, some people would say, but now all the coaches do that.
Yeah, it's kind of the meta now.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, if you're Keith in there and Joey's sitting there like, come on, Keith, try something, because who knows, maybe it'll work out. Sure enough, they end up winning the 3-on-5.
Yep.
And now Damage has the momentum. Hurricanes are going to go back scratching their heads and trying to have a couple-minute conversation. Well, let's listen in real quick. Well, Joey's screaming smart paintball. Keith says he's ready to go.
Hey, what do we think about
Well, Infamous and Houston Heat have had a long time to talk about their next game plan.
Oh, yeah.
Looks like Zach Patient's going to rip it again. They may go double out on the snake side. No, he doesn't.
Better off
stop him.
getting the spin, making the snake.
Yeah, Patient makes the snake off the break, and then looks like Brusselback going to get to the wedge.
Oh.
Both teams at 5 strong.
Harmon gets shot.
Yeah, Tyler and Harmon lose a gunfight from that door. Konstantin Fedorov getting the spin, and he goes to the back of the snake, makes it clean. Patient into snake 2 here for Infamous. He's going to get some help. Joe Barrett getting out behind him with Cali Rudolph filtering 2, so...
Ooh, Zach almost got caught by Fedorov on
Yeah.
that end around there. And if Tim isn't careful about how he's playing that, if Fedorov advances a bunker or 2, he's definitely going to blow Tim's face off.
Oh, Tim just looked away as he did that.
Yeah, I don't love this move by Fedorov, but he's the kind of guy that pulls these off. You know what I mean? He's going to hit the shot and then get back in the snake, and they'll be back in the game.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, Dizon coming off here for Houston Heat as well, too. So now that's putting a lot of pressure here on Fedorov. He does have Mishka behind him, and Ryan Moorhead's on an island for Houston Heat on that D side out at D2.
Anytime you have Mishka and Fedorov and Moorhead on the field, you know Mishka and Fedorov are good to win a gunfight or make a dynamic play, and then Moorhead is just a cannonball down that side sometimes. He'll run down and shoot 2 or 3 guys.
Yeah, he did that in their last game.
I believe it. I've seen it a lot of times.
It's like you guys have been playing against each other for 15 years.
Yeah, right?
So I think Fedorov's kind of wondering why Zach isn't in their end, given they don't have a tape.
There's some big cracks, and it looks like Fedorov's postured on that. I don't know if he saw him or not. I mean, I would think he would go get... Yeah, you know, he saw him. He sees him through the crack. Makes a good move.
Ooh, and
Oh, Tim. Good heads-up play
Yeah.
being looking there. That could have been the game.
Yeah, Tim Brusselback keeping his head on his swivel.
And then making a great move down. Yeah, mutual. We're good.
So just Mishka in the corner here.
That's the Dungeon Master, Tim.
Definitely looks like a vampire.
Yeah, he runs our Dungeons & Dragons game.
Oh, does he really?
He's actually a Dungeon Master. Yeah, he
sometimes.
wrote his own.
He looks like they could have cast him as an elf, like king in Lord of the Rings.
100%.
Got that long, luxurious black hair.
Right. Maybe he's like the dark Legolas, the evil Legolas.
Yeah. Looks like could be, 1,000-year-old vampire. Ageless. Got turned when he was young. Yeah, so right now, Mishka coming out of that back center, a lot of pressure on him now.
Mishka shoots their Dorito guy.
Wow,
That is
gets a shot on
bad
Ryan
shot.
Hall.
Yeah, he slipped in the snake and they didn't see it and got a shot on Ryan.
And it looks like there's 2-on-1
In favor of Infamous.
in favor of Infamous, but they don't know where Mishka is.
They don't know the count either because they're still completely dedicated towards that D side where there is no one left alive. Now, Mishka's posted up on that side as well, too, being careful. Am I missing a body?
I don't think so, because we had Brusselback over there and Ryan Hall over there. Both died.
Yep, and Zach got out of the snake.
And Zach died out of the snake, so yep.
Yeah.
Mishka is still unsure where these bodies are. I think if he knew where they were, he might have a chance to win this, but not knowing where they are, and they just found him too.
And Joe and Callie are two of the best communicators on the team, so I hope they put it together here.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to have a bad death in this situation, but you never know. Mishka is the guy that hits one-ball shots consistently.
Yeah, I mean, if I had to pick two guys I would want in this position for Infamous, it would probably be Callie and Joe. But then also, it's Mishka.
It's
right?
Mishka.
It's Mishka.
Right, and you're in hard edges on a stand-up, and he's 20 feet away, so it's...
Well, Mishka rolling the dice here, trying to get creative,
Yeah.
but he did end
Ends
up
up getting
getting taken
shot.
out by Joe. So, nice job by Joe Barrett.
Nice and control for Infamous. That's a good point. But Infamous, he made a game of it when it wasn't a game. It was a 3-on-5.
Yeah.
Just making it extra entertaining for us.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I was about to say I'm surprised this 3-on-1 they're not blowing it down by one, but then he shoots Ryan, and yeah, it makes it interesting.
So, Colt, how you guys feeling about the squad right now? How's Billy? Billy okay?
Yeah, Billy's good. I think he was just cramping a little bit yesterday. I mean, these Snake guys are obviously running their wheels off. Mouse went down yesterday with some back spasm.
No Chad George for this one. It's kind of sad if the paintball gods give us this. Well, Jason gives us this glorious ladder snake, so we can watch these battles, and I feel like half of the elite snake guys are either hurt or dealing with some sort of injury.
Right. It's wild.
But then we're talking about, hey, next man up. Like Jonah's having a good tournament for Infamous, so this is a chance for, and Connor Kelly's playing well, chance to make a name for yourself. But yeah, I got
I know Urena too. Think about that.
No Mike Urena. So it was. I got a little input in my ear from the booth. They're like, hey, we got a big update on X Factor. Throw it down to Lauren. Not sure what it was.
Oh, I don't
at
either.
the very end.
Curious.
Well, no, this was yesterday.
Oh, yesterday.
They throw down. Billy's on the ground in the pit.
Yeah.
Like grabbing his ankle. I'm like, oh no, Jesus, we lost another elite guy.
No, just cramps. He went and got an IV this morning, so he's ready, raring to go, and we feel good coming into this next match.
So Damage and Hurricanes locked up at one apiece with only 2 minutes and 40 seconds left to go in this one.
And a 5v5 breakout and tape. Double tape for Damage, but we do have a corner over here for Hurricane, so this is going to slow down the pace of the game.
So
for sure.
5v5 breakout with 2:30 left, so you're saying overtime is what you're saying.
Unless somebody dies in the next 45 seconds, overtime.
I mean, I'm only half joking, but...
I mean, we know this is a chaotic field.
Yeah.
And you got people like the Edwards brothers and Rainey out there that are super creative. We got Drew Bell, who's making some pretty good reads up through that middle. So I think somebody will go for it, but I'm feeling overtime on this one.
Oh, just shot the guy in his loader. It's going to be a penalty, maybe. No.
Yeah, no penalty assessed. Keith Brown, it's in the Snake 1.
I'll tell you what, the 2 on the Snake side is the most treacherous spot in this whole field, and most important.
Yeah, I would not.
Oh, Rainey takes a bad death out of the corner, evening it up. So
4-on-4.
minute 45 left.
And they're
Good
gonna
fill out.
Yeah, Jason Edwards refills that back corner bunker to get behind Keith.
Yeah, it looks like Hurricanes are in a posture to just go to time here. Unless the Dorito guy starts getting on his horse a little bit.
It looks like Daniel Camp going to dive into the Snake for the Hurricanes. Hits the bunker, kind of telegraphing his position.
So did Ripple not play at this point? That's interesting.
I was wondering
Yeah,
if he
he's on the sidelines. I was thinking the same thing. I looked down, and he's on the sidelines. So I think they sat Nick for this one, which is he's played every single point for him so far this weekend.
So maybe they came out with a, hey, we're going to maybe make a risk somewhere, and if we make it, we'll try and win. If not, we'll go to overtime, giving Nick a break.
That would make sense. Yeah, we'll have Mike Bianca coming up here this afternoon, so be able to pick his brilliant paintball mind.
Mike's a great guy.
He is
really
great.
like him.
Yeah, I can't say enough good things about Mike Bianca.
And he's done an awesome job with his camp. Hasn't really gone out and headhunted too many people. Picked up Nick, who wasn't currently playing, and he's just kind of bred his farm to be a bunch of elite paintball players. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's a great story. It's kind of hard not to be a fan of the Hurricanes. Oh, bad death, though, out of the back corner bunker. The Landry Logistics. Oh, and then Camp gets eaten up, too, so...
Keith's going to look to win
30
this
seconds,
point.
yeah. I'm surprised. This may be one where you blow it. I would probably have already blown the horn. They're just giving them time. You can win a 30-second point on this map.
Yeah, Heat won a 12-second point yesterday.
And they still haven't blown the horn. And why did they hang it?
No, he didn't. He missed it.
What is going-
They were telling him not to.
What's going on here?
Well, Colt, talk me through for people at home thinking, well, why would those instances be the case? Break it down for me a little bit.
Well, basically, we know that if a guy gets in the Snake unabated and he's crawling to your end, the game's over, right? And I'd say, we had statistics at our practices, and when we did not have tape presence and someone was in the Snake, we lost like 95% of the points. And that wasn't just us. That was Dynasty, us, Level. So an uncontested Snake guy is going to win 95% of the points. And they had an uncontested Snake guy. It's 4-on-3
with 30,
with 30 seconds.
30 seconds.
Which is a winnable point.
Yep.
And they don't blow it. So it's just an error.
And then when they run in and hit the buzzer,
Yeah.
break that down for me.
Well, again, you're leaving time on the clock as opposed to letting it run down to 1 second and then hanging the buzzer, leaving no question to the win. So it's just an interesting. And two teams that we were just talking about how good of a coach Mike Bianca is, and then who knows? Maybe someone's talking to him. Maybe he's not paying attention. Maybe he doesn't know exactly what's going on in the game. It's easy to do, and coaches make mistakes too.
So jumping back into this one here, Infamous and Houston Heat. 2 on the board for Infamous and a goose egg so far for Heat. Let's see who they spin snakes. They're going to go Connor Kelly again. And Connor's going to make it clean. Body coming off. It's Barrett taking the early walk here. Shot off the break for Infamous. That's a good kill for Houston Heat. Barrett's having a good weekend. Let's check in real quick with Lauren. Looks like she has an update. The Hurricanes.
Yeah, I was with Coach Mike Bianca during that last point where Damage was able to take the win, and he was really just worried about point spread. He said they didn't want a towel. They have a perfect point spread, and they are quarter bound.
There you go. So now 2-pack of Houston Heat bodies in the snake. Chad Boucher getting a spin. He's right behind Connor Kelly. Looks like Dizon over at the wedge, and so 2 bodies on the D side and 3 bodies here snake side. So Heat going heavy snake side here. Full commitment from Connor Kelly. No one in front of him. Connor maybe getting the shot on D2. I think that's Brussel back. Flinch back in. Might have stayed alive through that. Connor's going to get some help with Chad Boucher in case Connor gets dinked out.
Oh, Sam Monville taking the walk over there. Uncharacteristic death for him. He's one of the most solid and consistent players. Tim making an interesting move here. Almost shoots Connor on that weird up and over.
I think he just got picked up by Chad.
Yep.
Nate's going to try a desperation run on the
Yeah.
attack, but he looks like Dizon had a beat on him the whole time.
Good point for Heat.
Yeah, quick point for Houston Heat. So
We're single deck now, and they've got a lot of time left, so we're going to get to see a true X-Ball match here, which is exciting.
yeah, that means 2 minutes in between points. Yeah, and I'm wondering exactly how much time was there left in that Damage Hurricane match. So did they just burn it off?
It looked like less than 10 seconds.
Yeah, I think so. So I think they're probably just going to burn that off, and we'll go into 2 minutes in between points. And yeah, 8 something left here in this one. Both these teams like to play fast. This could be a high scoring game. We will see.
And I think this is one of those games where even if a team's running one line, this is where you start considering getting your secondary guys in there too. Because when you're playing back-to-back points, getting your guys tired, they might start running a 2-line set as opposed to just running 5 squad.
Yeah, and Heat being 3-0. I mean, I think that's why you saw Sam getting a spin that last point. I haven't seen him in too many points, so yeah, it's good to get other guys in the mix and make sure everybody's fresh. And
Right. Yeah, 2 was also out there on that one.
Yeah.
And go figure, they win the point, right?
right.
That happens like that.
Pretty convincingly, too.
Yeah. But it happens like that. You
Yeah.
know, those secondary guys, they're hungry to play.
Yeah.
You sit the bench for long enough,
And
you want it.
And it's not like they're not good.
Absolutely,
you're,
yeah.
you're on a world champion caliber team for a reason. So, yeah.
Yeah, and we were saying that with Heat.
So did you hear what Fedorov just said? Yeah, slow it down and control the field.
I mean, I don't know if I agree with that.
Well,
They have the whole snake side.
and they're still
snake.
and they're still down.
And they're still down.
And they're still down.
Yeah. I thought they played it fine.
The results speak for themselves. Chad
Right.
didn't get shot. I don't think Connor got shot either. The only mistake was Sam losing a gunfight. That's it.
Right. Which it's paintball. That happens sometimes.
Yeah, in this field, I mean, you're in gunfights all the time. Some fields are more gunfight heavy than others. This is a gunfight heavy field.
Especially on that snake side.
Oh,
I love
yeah.
it. It's fun.
Yeah,
That
it's-
corner-to-corner battle is
oh,
wild.
I love the corner to corner.
I do too.
Yeah, I still love fields like this.
Yeah.
Just playing paintball is fun. Doesn't matter what type it is, but when you get a layout like this, and
Yeah.
you know you're going to be locked into some gunfights all weekend long.
Right.
Fun, but you're going to get shot sometimes.
You are.
You
Yeah.
know, it's a little like baseball, man. If you do it well 3 out of 10 times in baseball, you're making $20 million a year and you're in the Hall of Fame.
Right.
You know, paintball, I'd give me 60% of the time. You know, just one more.
Yeah.
That's it. I mean, more than half, and we're good.
Patient dying on break. That's a big kill. But they also lose Connor Kelly. So
Yeah,
4-on-4 breakout.
Joe Barrett's been good on that shot on the break on the snake.
Moorhead's already in the 50. Tim Brusselback taking the walk. 4-on-3 with position advantage to Houston Heat right here.
Yeah, Houston Heat now making a move. Sam Monville back in for this one and gliding out into D2.
Nope. Joe Barrett taking the walk out of the back center. Ryan Moorhead is just feasting up that Dorito side. Nate doing some damage control, getting out to the Dorito corner.
Moorhead's definitely been much more hit than miss on that D side. He's having a pretty good weekend.
I think he's usually more hit than miss.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Again, if everyone on your team does it better than your opponents 6 out of 10 times, you win every single
We
game.
announcer cursed him. He just died. Doesn't really matter in this set, but Tyler's going to come up and shoot an 8. He does, and point over.
Yeah. So he's going to tie this one up here. We were hoping for a close battle in this set, and we got 2 of them. And, yeah, 2 minutes in between points, still 7-10 to go. Tie ball game 2-2. Yeah, how are you guys? I mean, you don't have to give away the secret sauce, Colt, but how are you guys handling playtime? You don't have to talk about it.
If you're hot, you spin, you know? Like, we're running a pretty...
So not set.
Not really set, no. I mean, we kind of have set lines in a sense, but if somebody needs one down, Billy especially, these guys ripping at every point, or if someone goes out there and has a hot game, I mean, you're spinning, you know? We're not running a solid 5. We're probably running 7 or 8.
Yeah.
But some guys are getting more spins than others.
Yeah. It's just you guys have been done a little roster roulette the past couple seasons. Not a ton, but a few here or there. But you guys are just looking so good. I mean, you lost by the smallest margin you possibly could lose a tournament by at the last one. How was the mindset after that? Was that obviously it's going to be disappointing, but
I think the most disappointing part of it was that, we felt like we put ourselves in the situation to lose that. We were in control and the ball was in our court. So we missed the shot, It wasn't that they made the shot, we missed the shot. The overtime point, Billy taking a death over the top, and it was just like, man, we get the snake clear, we have the whole snake, and then we lose that. It's just, we should have won the overtime point. We threw away a point in regulation time. It's just, but I mean, we know we're right there. We've improved every tournament.
Yep.
I don't think it was a negative mindset. It was just like, we need to work a little harder.
Yeah.
And we need to clean up just a little bit.
Yeah. But you got, again, the results speak for themselves.
Right.
Finals, lose by just as you broke it down. So, when people are asking me who's a favorite at this one, I'm like, there's, you can make a strong argument for a good 5-6 teams, but you were right up there in some of the first names off the tip of my tongue. So,
well, we appreciate that always.
Well, I gotta call it like I see it. I mean, you guys are struggling. Going back 2 years ago, beginning of last season.
Yep.
It wasn't looking all that great, but God, you guys tightened it up and been again. X Factor widely known as arguably not one of the most consistent teams ever. I
Right.
mean, literally, you guys went 6 years, I think, without missing missing a Sunday.
Right.
Which is insane with how hard it is to play pro paintball. But then, man to man, because it's not necessarily about the name of the team or even the names on the backs. It's what are those guys actually doing? But I like the way you guys are vibing. Again, I have spent a long time breaking down X Factor's roster, but you guys are looking pretty dialed. So.
Yeah, I think we've gotten a group of guys that are on the same mindset. There's not a whole lot of strife, or we don't have any kind of rogue personalities on this team, which we have had in the past, a few rogues, which is, there's pros and cons to that. It's good to have a little grit, have a little guy that has a little bit of fire, but it also can be counterproductive at times,
Well, it made you guys really fun to hang out with and really fun to watch and play against, because you guys be a little salty when you guys are coming up.
Right.
But it's harder to manage.
Right.
But you guys have aged like a fine wine, so keep it up, bro.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right, 2-2 breakout here. And Heat again decides not to go to the snake, but they do shoot Jonah. So,
Yes,
if you can do that, you don't have to risk your guy.
No, yeah, they shot Jonah. They hold Connor Kelly up, so Connor gets the spin, and they hold him up at the Aztec and risk a little bit on the D side to get Ronnie over there to the wedge and get outside to D2.
Patient dying out, and this is just kind of a Heat point at this point.
Yeah, Heat's really kind of taking the momentum these past few.
It's all coming down to shooting that snake guy on break for Heat. They're doing a really good job of that. They realized that they lost their snake guy last point and decided, hey, we're just going to break him short and we're going to focus our lanes on that snake guy.
Yeah, and that's Chad. I mean, so you've got 2 guys that haven't been getting spins, but you go in and they start winning points. It's like, why not?
Now Tyler takes a bad death, and Connor takes a bad death. Joe Barrett did not know he was there.
Wow.
Filling out sees him, reaction shot.
Hell of a shot.
Now we have a 3-on-3.
Yeah, it's a tough death for Connor right there. I mean, he had eyes on that lane, but just kind of took it off for just a second. Had the reaction, tried to get his gun up as he was crawling forward, and he just wasn't able to get that hip shot on Joe. Joe laced his shot in nicely. Now he's locked up in a gunfight down this sideline here with neither team having a body in the snake.
And I think Joe put a ball on Tyler before doing that, too.
He did,
so.
yeah.
Joe's having a good weekend right now.
Yeah, he's gotten progressively better throughout his career. He's played for a long time, and there was a good period of time where he wasn't producing for the amount of work he was putting in. That's changed now.
Yeah.
He's hit his stride. He's playing really good paintball. He's consistent. He's solid. He's a starter on Infamous. They've had a good season.
Yep.
And it's good to see. You know, he's a student in the game for sure.
Tim Brusselback just made it into the 50-yard line for Los Angeles Infamous, pushing the issue. He's got Dizon in front of him. Dizon cutting through the center. Nobody picks up Ronnie.
Oh, and
Ronnie's
he makes a great shot on Tim.
Nice little kill
Good
there.
play.
Oh, and he's got to worry about Nate Schrader. Nate Schrader.
Oh, Nate missed a shot.
Nate did miss a shot, but he's going to come up, try to give Ronnie a taste of his own medicine. Ronnie gets pushed back in. Ronnie has to commit towards this side, and he gets the drop in on Nate. Yep. So Ronnie having a point here.
Ronnie's squirrely, you know?
He's
very squirrely.
And a hell of a gunfighter.
He is, yeah.
He's a really good gunfighter.
Oh,
he gets eaten up by Joe. So
2-on-1.
Man, we're seeing some really good individual play out here.
But I think that's the key, individual play. You know, I think it would be a different story if either of these teams really started putting it together and playing as a team.
Well, Sam Monville has now moved up into the 50-yard line on the D side as Mishka gets into the back of the snake. Is it 1-on-2?
Yep, 1-on-2. Sam Monville, 50 Dorito.
This Chad, right? Yeah.
Is that Chad or Mishka? I don't know. It's hard to tell them now. They have the same body type and headgear. Yeah, it's yeah.
It's Chad Boucher. And so finally, Joe, after doing some work over there, but body's dying around him. Nice play by Dizon. Good play by Joe, but it is Chad Boucher and San Monville putting up another point here for Houston Heat to take a slight lead with 4:20 exactly on the clock.
Yeah, Heat doing a good job of shooting the snake on the break. They switched up Zach and Jonah and got them both. So.
And I got Colt Roberts from X Factor up here. Also Drew Templeton, former All-Star. Now
legend of the game.
Yeah, wrecking it on the 10-man field. So you play with Infamous, right? 10-man?
Oh, yeah. Loving it.
How many of these have you won now? Got a 10-man also coming up. Go Sports, we will be in Chicago covering the ICPL. Love those. Super fun. Means I can't play, but still get to be there and enjoy it and watch and call it. But, yeah, so how many of those 10-mans have you won?
I don't know. I feel like the first year I came back to play 10, we actually had Ryan Brand, Archie. We kind of shared it with X Factor, and it was just a fun time.
Yeah, Infamous was just, I mean, they had to change the rules because you guys were winning so many of them.
Yeah, I know, which is, it is what it is. I mean, it's unfortunate because you don't get to have your same camaraderie, your same guys, but it's like, just let it be. It's pro, you know? So.
Yeah, I know. Who was asking me? Someone was just asking me, hey, when do you turn 45? Because then you can play 10-man with us.
Brett Messer hit me up, actually, because I had posted something about, can't remember exactly what it was, something about 10-man, and it was about us old guys and how our knees don't really work anymore. But and he's like, yeah, but we need those the no point guys. And we get, he's like, hey, we want to play Chicago,
right?
Because then you can stack your team a little bit more when you get the graybeards out there.
My response to that was, well, our graduating class, if you will, of 45ers is like, you saw our veteran team at the USA.
Congratulations.
Thank you. But so once they hit 45, the age will be 50. You know that, right? They'll just bump it up again because that's what happened when we all turned 40. They moved it up to 45.
Yeah, because I thought it was 40. Yeah.
It was, yeah, until all of us hit 40.
Let's check in with Lauren.
Thanks. Going into this point, Infamous is also thinking about point spread. Thomas Taylor said even if they don't win this point, they want a 4-minute point. They don't want to give Heat any opportunity to run the points up.
Drew, Infamous, your boys, do you know what their point spread is sitting at right now? I mean, I could try to count it up.
Yeah, I'm not actually sure off the top of my head, but I know that they had I think 6-2 versus Russians, and only a 1-point win against Bears, and then 6-0 this morning. So
Jonah making the snake, so that's a good start. This is a 5v5 break. No, Tim Brusselback taking the walk. Looked like he got shot on break or early.
Ooh,
but
he might be losing their back center.
Yeah, I was going to say, still have an advantage here for Infamous just because they have sole control of Snake. But they let Connor Kelly fill out, which is just a cardinal sin. And now he's going to run his guy. Stay alive. What in the world?
That was interesting.
Tyler Harmon dying out of the corner. Sam making a desperation fill to the corner, but it works out.
Oh, I think he just lost his first gunfight. No, maybe bounced. I heard something pretty loud. It sounded like a thwack of the hit of a paintball. This is Joe Barrett locked into gunfight now. Sam looks like Sam's good. There's a referee right there.
3-on-2. Ryan Moorhead still making things happen.
Moorhead getting checked out by the ref. Looks like he's clean. He's at the 50-yard line, D side. Ryan Hall, back corner bunker. Is that Hall or Schrader?
It's Nate.
Yeah, Nate? It's Nate in the Dorito corner.
Yeah, that's Nate for sure.
Joe Barrett and Callie Rudolph. So the ball's in Callie's court right now. He needs to make a move into the snake, crawl down. Use his 2v1 advantage on this side, shoot Moorhead in the side and win the point. Plenty of time to do so. Still 3 minutes left in the game. 3-on-2 advantage for Infamous.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, Infamous just wants to get this victory, but they're down 1. They have this extra body out here, high body situation.
Yeah, with a 1-point game, you just play for the win instead of kind of talking about spread, you know?
I agree.
Put yourself in
Yeah.
that situation.
I'm not a fan of the spread game. Unless you have to. Sometimes you have to, but I don't think...
Yeah, it
there's a-
says X Factor. I mean, the team that doesn't, I mean, you guys are normally winning enough where it doesn't really matter for you. For the other guys that are down, 10th through 20th, it's all about the spread game for them.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know.
Oh,
I'd rather get last place swinging every time instead of like playing points to get 18th
because
instead of
you're
19th.
an old salty vet from Texas.
Maybe so.
And as an old salty vet from California, I appreciate that.
Yeah,
but
for sure.
Those guys, they have to play that game, man, because I've talked to many guys that weren't playing the game the right way, and then they go home because they didn't manage their spread properly instead of eking it in into Sunday.
Yeah, that's fair.
But I feel you.
Oh, Sam losing a gunfight. Okay, so now if Callie doesn't get into the snake,
Yeah, good comms by Callie there.
Yep.
Not 50 Dorito only.
they know it's 50 Dorito.
Joe looking for that crossfield shot here as Barrett making his way
Just
up on
go,
the
Joe.
snake.
What are we doing here?
Joe, you know there's no one in front of you. You guys just shot that guy. You don't have a lot of time to work with here. Being extra careful,
right.
that's
There
okay.
we go. Yeah,
Got it
worked out.
done. It does help Infamous's case with the giant 6-0 victory that they had over Aftermath as far as the spread is concerned.
Yeah, because Aftermath's other games weren't that big of a spread, so yeah, it's good for them.
So Infamous now going to tie it up. Yeah, and Houston Heat, of course, not going to concede the point. But, yeah, I mean, both teams going to be making it on. I am interested to see who's going to be playing in the wild card round, seeing as how the 2 teams that have won the last 2 tournaments fought out of the wild card round. It's pretty amazing if that could happen 3 times in a row.
Yeah, and you want to win that 4th game against the quote unquote better team in your bracket. It's just good for morale and confidence going into the next day.
Yeah, so let's talk a little bit more about Paintball Vault. So, Drew, we've had you up this morning. People might just be tuning in.
Yeah.
So not heard you talk about it before. I think it's a really cool thing. One of those things that when you see it, you're like, how did this not exist before? Because it's always so hard. If you have really cool paintball gear, you got to go on forums and be on Instagram and hear a rumor that so-and-so's got a jersey that you want. Instead, now you can just go to Paintball Vault, check out everyone's collections or what they're willing to sell. So break it down for everybody.
Yeah. So I mean, it's a marketplace built for paintball. So you can go on there as a buyer and find cool stuff. It's all the sort of browsing experience is built to find nuanced paintball gear. You can find old stuff, new stuff, used stuff, new stuff. You name it. And then as a seller, it's just super easy to get your stuff on the platform. You can list for free, and by default, you're able to accept all the payment methods, financing. Paintball Vault provides a shipping label when your gear sells. So it's the whole experience is just built to make it easier. But from what I love most about it is that it's for paintball, and I love going on there and checking out everybody's sweet collections and everything. It's awesome.
You have a sweet collection.
Oh, I love it. I've been doing that for years. It's
He never asked me for one, though, so you know where I stand on this totem pole.
Yeah, no. So I mean,
I would always crave your gun collection because I remember once I heard, because as an autococker guy growing up in California and sponsored by him for a while, so you got a pretty sweet autococker collection.
Yeah, I've got a new tomorrow in 10 Man. I'm breaking out. I got a Dark Angel LCD. I put an ultralight frame on it from Dye.
Okay.
So it's just like it's 10 BPS ready. So I love the old stuff because I think there's a lot. I mean, our sport to me is very gear centric. You're using something, the way you play is through your the gun and the equipment you have. So I think
Speaking of Dark Angel, is Warped coming back? I saw a bunch of Rocky Cagnonis posting some of the old Warped logo.
Yeah, I did see. I heard a rumor.
Okay, that's interesting.
Can neither confirm nor deny. I don't even know.
Well, I saw Ed
But I heard
Foreman
the
post
rumor.
something too,
Yeah.
saying nobody better than Rocky to take over
Let's
type
do it.
deal. So
I
that's
think
kind of cool.
Great, yeah. So tied 3-3 here. These teams
Both teams
fighting
make
for
the snake.
seeding.
Oh, but
having
Nate
a-
Schrader dying. I don't like that Dorito corner. I don't know why they ran him there. I think that's probably
Why
one of
don't
the
you like
easiest
it?
spots.
Break
It's
it
one of
down.
the easiest spots to get shot,
Yeah.
going to,
Yeah.
shot out of, and I just don't think it's very productive.
Well, the most productive guys on the D side have actually been pushing the issue.
Absolutely.
The Parslevs from Legion, the Ryan Moorheads
Tim trying to
from
push the
Houston
issue.
Heat, and then Dizon now doing it and just eating people up. I mean, Infamous has had some good plays on that D side in this prelims, but right now losing it from that side. Here comes Fedorov streaking up the field trying to find these last bodies with just 16 seconds left to go, trying to win this game in Houston Heat. Connor Kelly alive in the chaos. Tyler Harmon behind him to put most likely the winning point on the board. Still about 10 seconds left, so does Infamous want to show its fast play here in the prelims? I don't know.
Yeah, I think Callie's upset that Ronnie didn't get a penalty drawn on him there.
Do you think Travis is going to show his hand with his fast play right now?
No way.
I know he's probably got a couple.
Yeah, no.
I'm
No
going
way.
no. It's
Not
more,
10
more for sake of conversation, but
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they're going to come out there and do something we haven't seen yet, personally.
love it, Colt. Yeah, absolutely not.
But to take an L, like now you do talk spread. I mean, that's the best thing can happen. Lose by 1 on your 4th game.
Yeah, definitely. Especially against a team like Heat. You knew that was going to be a battle.
But I mean, Heat going out there and giving Infamous a really tough time on that snake side on the break. I mean, Infamous started putting an extra body on Doritos after losing their ones going either short or snake. And now they even just had 2 guys on the side, lost Joe on the break going to the stand-up. So Heat dialed in on their shots on the break.
Look at this in the pits, though. Chad George is suited up. Which, I mean, I know he's injured, but I'm wondering, I mean, typically you don't suit up if
Well, talk
there's
to him at practice.
no chance. So you got a chance to talk to him?
Yeah, I talked to him. We played at Blast Camp, and Heat was out there, and this was on the Thursday practice. And he gave me the impression he was going to play. So I don't know what that means.
Oh, wow, Nick Sloviak bringing some
Meat man.
steak in. Yeah, thank you so much. Appreciate that. I typically never eat
That's delicious, Nick.
on camera, but this does look amazing. What is this? Little skirt steak? Little skirt steak? Thank you so much.
He's cooking. He's the guy that catches the hotel on fire.
That is absolutely delicious. I'm breaking one of my rules here. Never eat on camera, but Nick kind of forced me to do it.
He did. He held you down.
You're getting kind of hungry, so appreciate it. So we got.
10 seconds.
I mean,
The question is,
starting
I
lines
don't,
are out there.
Yeah.
I don't think we're gonna. I don't think Travis is gonna show his hand here.
Looks like Zach's running snake. Nope.
Yeah.
He juked us out.
So what we mean by show his hand, every team has a couple we need to win a point in 10 seconds plays. And since Infamous is going to make it on to Sunday, I don't think they want to show that play right now because everyone will watch it, and then they may need it on Sunday to try to, move on in the tournament, maybe win the tournament. So why show your cards right now?
Or even risk your guys getting hurt.
Yeah.
Beyond that.
That's another really good point.
Or getting a major and making it 2 points.
Yeah.
Like, a lot can go wrong.
Yeah, so that's going to do it here. We're going to take a short lunch break. We'll be back. Tampa Bay damaged, taking down the Hurricanes, and then Houston Heat with a pretty scrappy win against a tough Los Angeles Infamous.
Yeah.
So stick with us here. 2023 NXL Windy City Major. Colt, best of luck this afternoon.
Thank you for having me.
And Drew, thank you so much for coming up and gracing us with your presence. Everybody download Paintball Vault and check it out. There's just an insane amount of, what do they call those, Grail jerseys and Grail guns?
Yeah, grails or vault items or whatever you want to call them.
I saw a
lot of-
Be Real jersey going up, Stoned
Yeah.
Assassins. I really want that.
Yep.
There you go.
Probably out of my price range. though.
So stick with us here on Go Sports. We'll be back. I'm Matty Marshall. See you in just a few.